We all know how great One Piece is, right? The anime with the amazing plot, character moments, backstories, and all the other complicated stuffs. So that makes you wonder, what is the best One Piece arc? What is the peak of One Piece? What is that one arc that everyone can point to and say, yup, this made me come, this made my nipples hard? And I'm pretty sure it's this live-action One Piece from this questionable website. But in all honesty though, I think that there are 3 arcs in particular that come to mind when we're talking about the best One Piece arc, which are Enies Lobby, where Mary dies, Marineford, where Ace and Whitebeard dies, and Wano, where nobody freaking dies or stays dead. And yes, I know Ashura, Doji, and Izo died, but come on man, their deaths came out of nowhere. So yeah, these 3 arcs are always brought up when we're talking about the best One Piece arc. And today I'm going to be dissecting all 3 of these arcs, explaining their highs as well as their lows, and at the end I'm going to be jizzing out the objective truth on which is the best One Piece arc. So yeah, let me start off with Wano, the arc that recently ended, and definitely the best arc in post-time skip, and truly a contender to be at the peak. Because One Piece has never looked this good, like ever. The animation is peak, the art style is peak, the fight scenes are peak. Luffy himself stated that yup, this is peak. We literally have an opening called The Peak. You cannot get any peaker than that, if that's even a word. But yeah, not gonna lie, the pacing was quite mid. It literally took more than 4 years to finish this arc. Like goddamn, that's enough time to finish a bachelor's degree. Marriages in America don't even last that long. World War I didn't even last that long. And the funny thing is, it still feels rushed. I think Wano is the most ambitious arc in all of fiction and not just One Piece. And I'm pretty sure that this is Oda's favorite arc, and I say this because of how much he wanted to draw this arc and for a pretty long time, constantly dropping little breadcrumbs and foreshadowing within the span of freaking 13 years, like Wano and Kaido were name dropped in Thriller Bark, which happened before you and I even started growing pubic hair. Oda literally had to wait for Naruto to end because Shonen Jump didn't want 2 of their biggest shows to have the same concept of ninjas and shit airing at the same time. Nah, I'm just kidding. I just made that shit up, but talking from a business point of view, I can see that being possible. Anyways, talking about the breadcrumbs and foreshadowings, Kaido's devil fruit was foreshadowed in Punk Hazard, Kanjiro's betraying ass was hinted from the start, Smiles in Sabaody, time travel in Zou, Ace being in Wano was foreshadowed in Marineford, Oden being able to write Chinese, and so much more. Like goddamn, the amount of patience he has is unfathomable. No Nut November isn't even a challenge for him. And I think Wano definitely has the most amount of peak moments in all of One Piece. Like we all know and love some of the most iconic and epic moments in all of One Piece, like the Nothing Happened in Thriller Bark, I Want to Live in Enies Lobby, the Celestial Dragon Punch in Sabaody, and the Walk to Arlong Park in Arlong Park. Well, in Wano, we have dozens of them. Gear 5 Luffy, Zoro vs King, Sanji vs Queen, Demon Mommy Robin, Splitting the Sky, Just Entering Onigashima 1015, the Emperor's Bounty reveal, the entire roof piece. Zoro using 9 sword style after 10 years. Like I really thought that Oda forgot Zoro could do this. Oden's death, Roger finding the One Piece, Kaido's dragon form, Kaido one-shotting Luffy, 957, like... No wonder people think Wano is the peak of One Piece. But there are a lot of things that a lot of people did not like and did not make any sense and just dragged the story completely. Like Orochi surviving for the 1,000,000th time, Kanjiro surviving for the 1,000,000th time, Kiyomon and Kiku's fake out death, Denjiro, Raizo and Kawamatsu doing nothing, Lost Crew doing nothing, Nami and Usopp couldn't even defeat Ulti and Page 1 on their own, most of the Tobiropo were disappointing, Drake and Scratchman Apu, 2 of the worst generation whose title actually suits them, the numbers were so forgettable, Big Mom's Alzheimer's. and Mother Mode, Kaido's photo album, backstory, and the most disappointing thing about him being the big bad of this arc is that he has 0 body count in this arc. And I'm not talking about him getting laid, which he definitely did. I'm talking about him not being able to kill anyone in this arc. Not the Akazaya 9, not the worst generation, not even the CP0 agent. Like, that shit is ass. And generally speaking, Oda not being able to kill characters, even side characters, is probably the worst thing about One Piece, and I think a lot of people would agree with me on that. And him not being able to kill most characters in the most climactic arc of One Piece since Marineford made me not care about the stakes anymore. Like, after finding out that Kaido couldn't even kill Kinemon, I lost all respect for him because I am no longer intimidated by him. Like, imagine how menacing and intimidating he would be if he actually killed like half of the Scabbers. Well, that would be 4.5, so let's just say 5. The stakes would be so damn high, and his beatdown will actually feel so much more satisfying. And not only that, the whole Wano arc wouldn't feel so bloated as well. Characters that should have died, in all honesty, or characters that should have stayed dead, keep filling up the pages and take a lot of screen time. Like, no one cares about Raizo versus that Earlobes guy. No one cares about Orochi and Komurasaki. Anyways, this is slowly turning into a Wano rant video, I'm sorry. But yeah, there are a lot of highs in Wano as well as a lot of lows. By the way, I would really like it if you would subscribe, cause that would make me so very happy. Okay, next up we have Marineford, probably the best war arc in shonen ever, and the first time Oda actually killing off characters, and not just any character, 2 of the most beloved and important characters in One Piece. Where was this Oda in Wano? Okay, I am done slandering Wano. So what makes Marineford so special, besides it being built up since the start of Ace hunting Blackbeard, besides it breaking the main character and us as well, and besides it introducing the best dad in all of anime? Well, you see, the best thing about Marineford is the clusterfuck of inconsistent displays of powers and feats that fuel most of the agenda piece today. We got Mihawk versus Vista, Mihawk versus Crocodile, Mihawk versus Jinbe, Mihawk versus a Mountain of Ice. We got Crocodile versus Doffy, Crocodile versus Akainu, Crocodile versus Whitebeard, Crocodile versus almost everybody. We seem to be using Haki but also don't. We definitely have some of the most overpowered Devil Fruit users in one area. We have people who can cause eruptions, earthquakes, ice ages. We have someone high on weed shooting laser beams. We got giants, terminators, furries, mythical creatures.
What the fuck is that?
God? And in the midst of all this, we have a rubber boy trying his best to save his brother. And this is what I love about Marineford and the entirety of Marineford Saga, our main characters finding out how insignificant and powerless they are in the grand scheme of things. Because for over 300 chapters, our main cast has been wiping their asses with the Grand Line. Nah, I'm just kidding, all of them went through a lot of shit. But the thing is, they always manage to get the W. But in this saga, they take L's after L's after L's. The only W they got was taking down a pacifista, and it took everything from them. Second gear, third gear, Diablo Jambe, 9 sword style, and the funny thing is that pacifista is considered fodder in Marineford. Fodders from Whitebeard's side are taking care of them. Boa Hancock took down 3 of them in a few seconds. Like, this is embarrassing, but this experience gives the crew what they need, a reality check, and this is why I really love this saga. And another thing that makes this arc so spectacular is how unexpected it was for Ace to die, and even Whitebeard for some people. Because we never had anyone die before in One Piece, like ever. We literally have minor characters surviving nukes to their faces. So when both Ace and Whitebeard died, it felt impossible. Oda literally gave us 500 chapters of hope and just took it away from us. And I think this speaks to the volume of how great Akainu is as a villain and how he's my favorite character in this arc.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
Hey, chill, hear me out. Akainu is the sole reason why Marineford is so great, because without him, we wouldn't be at the edge of our seats, clenching our butt cheeks. Like, this man literally turned the shonen anime into a freaking slasher film. This man cannot be stopped and cannot stop punching holes into people. This man alone made me think One Piece turned into a seinen anime, because I have never seen anyone turn into jelly like this in One Piece. I have never seen wounds like this in One Piece, and I have never seen this level of violence in One Piece. So of course he's the MVP when it comes to the antagonist side. Okay, enough glazing Akainu. Marineford was peak from the beginning till the end. From the reveal of Ace being Gold Roger's son, to Whitebeard's introduction, to Luffy's introduction. Garp's mental struggle, which some of y'all still don't seem to understand, but I'll talk about that some other day. And Blackbeard, the shit that orchestrated all this, coming in third partying all this, which is such a scummy and vile thing to do, but hey, they're pirates at the end of the day, and that's what pirates do. And him being able to take Whitebeard's devil fruit. And then the finale, where we have Shanks showing up with his big dick on the table, asking if anyone is brave enough to touch it. We got his so-called rival fleeing the scene. We got Akainu bitching and moaning. We got Blackbeard saying, nah, we cool. And Sengoku saying, yeah, let's just end this arc. Okay, last but not least, we have Enies Lobby. Man, this is probably the most well-written arc in all of One Piece. Like, I literally have no complaints about this arc other than the fact that no one dies. I mean, no Homo sapiens die, which is fine cause that's already been established anyways. Okay then, where do I start glazing on this masterpiece? Ah yes, Water 7, the arc that made me understand why people say One Piece is #1 and why Luffy has been the face of Shonen Jump for over 20 years. The arc that puts the Straw Hats against themselves. Loyalty, trust, leadership, sacrifice, and most importantly, fear and insecurity. You see, we all know that Usopp is just a normal guy. He isn't strong, he gets beaten up by regular fodder, he's a chicken, he can't carry his own weight, and he is shit when it comes to repairing the ship. We all know that, but the thing is, Usopp knows that too, and that has made him feel insecure for a pretty long time. He feels like he isn't helpful to the crew, and he's just there because he's their friend. See, imagine being in a family full of doctors, engineers, and lawyers, and you're out there selling drugs on the streets. Okay, that's a bit too far. Just say you dropped out of college. Your family might not say anything to you, but you're definitely going to feel embarrassed and ashamed. And that's how Usopp feels. He's the only Straw Hat that is replaceable. You can't remove Luffy, Zoro, or Sanji. That would be like fighting Mike Tyson, blindfolded, in a wheelchair. They're not even gonna get past Kabaji. And extra points for Sanji cause he can cook. You can't replace Nami cause where's all the fan service gonna come from? And you can forget about finding the One Piece without Robin. So when Luffy decided to leave Mary and get a new ship, Usopp really did think that he was going to be next. It wasn't really about the ship. I mean, it was, but it was mainly about him being afraid of being left behind. And surprisingly, we find out that even Robin feels the same way, but for different reasons. The main antagonist being the shipwrights was the craziest plot twist back then, the walk to Enies Lobby, Soul-King, the Straw Hats declaring war on the world government, I Want to Live, Gear 2nd and Gear 3rd, Monster Point, 9 Sword Style, Diablo Jambe, Usopp shooting down Spandam, Luffy versus Lucci, Robin beating the shit out of Spandam, Luffy's gag about not recognizing Usopp turning into the best emotional plot point. Like, how can anyone even think about that? And then Mary coming in to save everyone and then dying. Like, this is peak. And then we have post Enies Lobby where Shanks meets Whitebeard, Ace versus Blackbeard, the bounty reveal, Zoro being the Chad, and then Garp showing up, revealing Luffy's family. Like, this is peak, the pinnacle of peak. Okay, so which one of these 3 arcs is objectively the best One Piece arc? According to me, that is.
The answer is drum roll. And the answer is
It's Enies Lobby, baby. And I don't think I need to explain myself given that I've already did. Enies Lobby has been perfect from the beginning till the end. It's the arc where every Straw Hat gets to shine. And like I said, it's one of Oda's best written arcs. So yeah, anyways, like, comment, subscribe, and yeah, that's it.